somebody crammed that
And I got
box totally
sticky stuff
full.
over here. We've been
It's
just
amazing.
right.
And it'll be gone in the morning, but it was full tonight.
We've got
Need line?
we got the
Yeah.
Bearcat out there again tonight.
It's unreal.
We've been just piling them in. I mean,
That's
it's
good.
already-
It shows you how much need there is out there.
Yeah.
No, I think the school's getting all theirs in Dayline this year.
Right, I
That'll
know.
help, because Dayline and them used to
But
split.
everything helps.
You know, they went back to this together.
And they have to have a
I
wall
took
to
a-
walk from the truck
It was down Dayline last week, I
to
took,
the porch, you know. There's a lot to think about.
All right. Everybody, welcome to the Monday, November 17th meeting of the Benton City Council. We'll get started. If you'll stand, we'll face the flag, say the prayer, and the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Rob, would you say a blessing?
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, and we thank you for the many blessings of this day. We ask your blessing on this city and on this council meeting. Help us make wise decisions and benefit of our citizens. In Christ's name I pray, amen.
Amen. Thank you. All right. We have a very short agenda tonight. No citizens' comments. Okay. We have a sewer tap to discuss. So there's a gentleman out in Pebblebrook. I don't know if you guys know where that's at. It's out Dogtown Road, and as you go up past 21st Street, there's a subdivision out there, and he is wanting to hook onto the sewer system. But there's one house in front of him that keeps him from being in the city limits. Our ordinance states unless you're in the city limits, you cannot tap onto our sewer system. I don't know if you all want to make an exception for him. He has tried with his neighbors to let him come across and an easement to be able to get into the city limits. He cannot get any neighbors to let him do that. I'm going to leave that up to you all because you all voted on the ordinance to put it in place.
Allow the council to be able to do that.
Well, I figured they had the discretion, but you're the lawyer. You know better
Law
than
is
I
the
do.
law, and
Okay.
that's what it says. So
Okay.
I would think we'd have to amend the ordinance. I mean, I can amend it.
Okay.
He's not in any hurry. It's the same what I'm thinking. I
Right.
think it's down the road.
Right.
So he's not in any hurry, but if we want to be able to have that authority to make exceptions, we can amend the ordinance. The way the ordinance reads, it doesn't give you all the authority just to say, we can ignore the ordinance.
Okay. Well, I know they do on water bills, and our ordinance states
Water
in water.
bills.
In water bills, if it's an excessive bill, they're able to amend those bills, so I didn't know, but that's a whole different thing. Okay, gotcha.
You're gonna allow somebody from outside of the city limits to go into the ordinance and I'm not saying one way, I don't care one way or the other, but I'm just thinking that we.
if you do this, you said it one house, two houses, four houses?
That's
You
my
know, there's a
question.
big, you can't do it for this one and say, no, you're two houses down, you can't do it. I mean,
What's
I
the
definitely am
backfall?
not
I mean,
against them doing it.
what's the negative effects of it? I mean, I don't,
Just if you give it to one person, you're
You
gonna
gotta
have
give it to all of them.
others. Yeah.
what's the benefit for the city?
You just get a customer, a sewer customer.
The neighborhood doesn't want to be annexed into the city.
No. He would like to be, this particular man would like to be,
Yeah.
but he doesn't have any avenue,
Right.
you know, with
get
the,
there.
with
So
the
essentially,
zone.
they'll get like a city benefit without paying like city taxes on like their
Right.
property or that.
Which there are others on sewer that's outside the
Sure.
city limits, but you all amended that a few years ago. And that was our way to get people to annex into the city limits.
Yeah.
So you amended that so that the only way that they could hook onto our sewer. Now, a lot of people hook onto water, and I'm sure he's on city water. But you can't, the sewer we changed.
Can he, if he hooks on the sewer, can he be annexed and the other house not annexed?
You have, with annexation, you have to touch upon another city property. So, and that can't happen out there because the person in front of him refuses to annex.
In the sewer line right there, Beth.
Mhm.
Yeah, he has a manhole in his yard.
He has a manhole. It's not like we're putting it in, it was already put there.
Every house on that street has a sewer, cause it was before, they've had it for years.
So he has it
He
right
would be the
there.
only
It's a
one.
unique situation.
Yeah.
I definitely have done this. What do we do further down the line if Laura wants it?
You're probably gonna have to let him.
Yeah, you know.
Well, I could make a
Right.
proposal amended ordinance that kind of narrows it down.
That's what I'm
That
talking
if you already have a sewer manhole on your
Right.
property,
Well,
pre-existing.
or, you know,
But here's the case too, we had a new house built on Colonial that set 300 foot off the road, that was in the county with the sewer line running through the front yard, and we did not let them hook on the sewer.
They are now, cause they annexed.
Yeah,
Yes, they
annexed,
annexed.
but we wouldn't let them hook onto the sewer
Unless
because
they
they
annexed.
were not in the
Yeah.
city limits.
Man. 300 feet, that's gotta be.
It's right there in the triangle, Karen Faye's on
Yeah.
one
Oh,
side,
okay,
Tableau's
I
on
got,
the
okay, gotcha, I
Yeah.
didn't think it's that far up on here, but.
Yeah.
I definitely think we need to let Robert study this and draw something up before we just do it. Definitely not against him doing it. I'm for everybody wanting to do it.
Okay.
I don't wanna do it for one and not do it for another. If we do it for one, then I'll be open to all, but you know, that's.
Then
not
you're gonna
me.
have to change your whole ordinance that allows anybody to get on your city sewer.
I don't
Well,
think-
So,
That's a
that-
slippery
that's the
slope.
drawback.
That's a slippery slope, I'm afraid. As
I
much as,
don't want that.
but yeah, as much as I would like to do it, especially in this situation, if we do it for him, the next situation may not be as easy to do. And I remember us discussing that,
Mhm.
I think when we changed that, and
But it's not gonna be available for everyone anyway. There has to be a sewer line that they can connect to. So if you're 5 miles out in the county, there's not gonna be a sewer line available. It's kind of a unique situation.
And like you said, the other situation, they had to pay for a surveyor and we had to annex, and they did everything they were supposed to because we required it. And we didn't amend the ordinance for them, so I'm making it, and I know these people.
Yeah.
Why you do it for one?
Yeah, that's the part I'm getting at.
Yeah. And I'll do whatever you want me to do, but we went to it was a young couple that built a very nice house and they annexed in.
and we can, that neighborhood, I think, is it right there in that curve, is that the one you're talking about?
Yes.
There's not houses on the other side, on both sides of the street, where you could go up and around and back up and just have everything except one little pocket, are there houses on both sides of that street? I hadn't been
Yeah,
up there.
well, there's one across the highway. Is that what you're saying?
I said, no, just across the neighborhood street is what I said.
I don't know. I haven't
Right,
been
you
through
know,
there
what
so
I'm saying,
long.
could we, if this was a road, could we annex up one side of the road and back around?
They don't wanna annex.
None of them do.
No,
Okay, I thought just.
nobody but this one man.
I got
It's
you. I
on the
thought
list
maybe
of
just the
standards.
one in between him and the
Yeah.
city property didn't
Yeah.
want to, maybe.
I wish we could, but
Yeah.
no,
Okay,
and we don't force annex, so we
Right.
can't.
right.
Yeah.
The difference, though, there is a difference between the scenario where we required that young couple to annex in, is they were right there by the city.
Right.
Their property was
Yes, they're joint.
all around.
Yeah,
This piece of property is not.
right.
He's
It's
got
on
a
that.
manhole in his front yard and neighbors that are not.
It's not
agreeable.
contiguous at all.
Right,
Okay.
right.
So, do you all want him to amend the ordinance, or do you want to say no, or how do you wanna handle this?
I say we vote to say whether we want to amend the ordinance would be the only fair thing to do. You tell me, is that,
Well, if you amend the ordinance, it's gonna be very similar to when people have a exorbitant water bill,
right,
and they have to come to you all and ask you to amend that water bill.
right.
It's gonna be very similar to that. You're gonna have to take it case by case.
I mean, I don't think we should amend it.
Okay.
But if, some may feel differently, so but yeah, I don't think we should amend it. I hate it for this one person, but like I said, that's a slippery slope. You can get in some difficult situations if we go down that road.
Sylvia, what do you think, dear?
I'm not sure. I feel like I'm just not educated on it enough to like know like what, like if there are multiple, like let's say we do it for this one and then there's several others that want to do it, like is there, again, like what's the backfall on it? Like what is the con to allowing it to happen? Like what bad could come of it, I guess?
There's really not any bad, except that if you let one on, you're more than likely gonna have to ask anybody that
You're
wants
okay
to,
with others.
provided that there's a main close enough that they can tap.
Is it like more to actually put a tap in? Is that an expense for the city? Is
No,
that
it's the customer.
the customer
They
pays
pay their
that?
tap fee.
To put the main in would be our cost.
We wouldn't put a main in.
Or just
Okay.
put a tap?
It
If
has,
if
there
it's
has to be a main
situation where
close
it's
enough for
main,
them to tap.
We can stipulate that in the
Yeah.
ordinance, yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah, you can ask a question.
On the customers you have, sewer customers you have, who are outside the city limits, do they pay the same sewer rate?
No, they pay an outside sewer rate and water, and a water rate. They pay a little more.
I thought you had to calculate, somebody is quite low, tap on.
Guy,
What do you guys think over there?
What are your thoughts, Guy? What do you want to add?
As bad as I want him to have this, I don't want to make a special thing. And I also don't want to break our ordinance without opening it wide open, you know. And I feel definitely for him, I want him to have it, but I don't know the answer, maybe. If Butch might know,
The only way I'd be for it, if Rob can write the thing
yes.
to where it's restrictive enough, they have to have a main there available and all that stuff.
I can put something together and you can still decide not to adopt it.
That would
You're not gonna hurt my feelings. But if all of you say no, there's no reason for me to do the
Right,
work. But
right.
if you're on the fence and you'd like me to at least make an attempt at it, I can do that. And then you can,
I would-
and
I
then
would
you can,
like-
and if you vote no and you're.
in my mind, it makes sense that like if you want city amenities, then you need to be annexed in. I understand that like he has somebody living there that doesn't want to be annexed, so he cannot be. And that's unfortunate, but like that's what makes sense to me. But maybe
But we can't annex them in, right?
we can't if they don't want
No,
to.
there's no avenue there to annex
So,
them in,
I don't know.
unfortunately.
I don't know.
Can you say something like special circumstances like he's talking about,
Extraordinary, so I would make it.
to where it wouldn't be open, so narrow?
This is a unique situation, and I think it was his father-in-law that developed the property and ran the sewer and has the manhole there, but never did follow through with it, so. And then I think he assumed when he got the property, he would be able just to, to have sewer,
Right.
but it didn't work out that way. In the meantime, we changed our ordinance.
Yeah.
So our ordinance currently states it on a sewer tap, it's $1,500, and that includes a clean out and up to 28 foot of sewer pipe. Any other materials will be charged at cost. No sewer connection will be made for customers outside the city limits.
That's pretty plain, isn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, you do have a unique situation because it's a person that does want to annex into the city, but doesn't have any avenue to be able to annex.
But it's
That's the difference.
Pretty good distance before there's any, they like quite a bit being contiguous to any city.
Well, there's one house in front of him that could hook onto,
Could, but,
that could,
but do they border the city limits? The house in front of him?
they would have to annex as well. But they could,
So
because
if
they're
they-
hooked onto a property. In
Okay.
fact, I think they're hooked onto Jessica and Brad's property. I think it's contiguous right there.
Okay, so the one
Yeah.
that is not interested is contiguous, okay,
He could,
Well-
he would have to annex.
yeah.
So, and annexation is a process. You do have to hire a surveyor and it can get quite expensive to do it, but, yeah, but if people wanna be in the city and have all the amenities, they don't mind doing that.
Right. And I remember us discussing that when we changed this, that, you know, we wanted it as an incentive to, you know, get more to annex.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm willing, if some of them want something drawn up, I don't mind hurting Rod's feelings out, you know, I might say no to it, but if you wanna draw something up and us look at it, I'm open to that.
I'll put something together, and if you won't think about it and decide I just do not wanna do it, then
I don't feel like I'm just like a hard no or anything, I'm just not sure how to make it where it's not just gonna be a circus of just everybody
You
here,
could put
there.
that stipulation in there that they are requesting annexation but can't get it.
and if annexation, I could say something, if annexation is not possible, or,
Right.
and I'll just throw a lot of unique situations. But the one couple that I was talking about that we required to annex, they were right there. Their property was
Surrounded.
surrounded by
Yeah.
the city, and this one isn't.
They didn't have any problem annexing
No.
because they had that avenue
Yes,
available
right.
to
Yeah.
them.
It was right there. This one's not.
That's what we'll do then. We'll let Rob put something together and come back the next meeting and we'll see how you guys feel. So, department reports, Stephen?
All right, for the month of October, the police department responded to 1,313 calls for service. Quite a lot.
Hi. This will be flatter.
Chris, what you have?
50 month for the gas department. Of course, when they get cold, everybody's thinking about heat. So we had 21 new services hooked up. We ran 500 foot of 2-inch mains. We ran 1,600 foot of 4-inch mains. And we made one bore for the water department. And Rob, we've been working with him to get a couple of the hard to get easements
Okay.
taken care of out there so we can get back out to all the communities that
Y'all have really had a busy month. So Stephen, y'all could have helped them this month, see? Harry, do you have? Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
We all doing something over on Ash the other day, one day last week, maybe. Looked like, I thought it was a gas company pickup parked there, and some walking around in yards, maybe it wasn't gas department.
unless somebody called in like a smell of gas.
That's what I thought it might be, but you don't remember?
Checking it out, yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions? How's Olive Road coming? All of that area?
Like I said, I've been trying to work like 2 miles at a time, getting easement signed, and we've got a couple that's
Just,
a little bit of a hang up.
okay.
It's kind of a locality on somebody on the deed that Rob's helping us get lined out.
Okay.
We're trying to get that signed.
So you can't move forward past that area until you get that done? Okay,
As soon as we get started, we would run into a hold up, so I'm just keeping the guys out working at Bangora.
okay,
Get that project done.
okay. Have you got all of Hauser Road? Have you got all that done?
All of it done.
Okay.
We've actually made it down Bangor, now that we're turning down Tom Lane,
Okay,
so we're headed down that final stretch.
okay. Now the church is on Van Zora Road, right? Do you have it? Okay, good. Are most of them tapped?
Yep.
Okay,
I think we've got the church, and I think we've done 5 new services on Hauser already.
okay. That's great.
And then we've got a guy that's out on Bangor, he's wanting to hook up, so we're gonna gas up another little section just so we can get him on this one.
Okay,
I do have a meeting with the state, talking to them this week about getting across Jordan Creek.
okay.
They're gonna lower hamlet, kind of a rough spot, I think they have a dynamite to get the bridge in.
Oh.
We're gonna call you when it's dynamite.
Please call.
The idea is, you and I talked about maybe running down that Abraham Road, and
Uh-huh.
we can hurry up and get a 2-way feed on that line.
Right.
And I talked to Roy, and he said the county has no issue with us running on their
Oh, good,
right of way down there.
good.
So we may.
So you'll be able to loop right there.
Yeah.
That's always a good thing.
And then we
Yeah.
can get 2-way feed on it, and then still make that big outer loop through all the community.
Okay, sounds good. Okay. Y'all are working hard.
We're trying.
Harry, I'm gonna read your fire report, and then if there's anything you wanna add to that, you can, okay? So for the fire department in October, structure fires, This is a summary, you guys, of October for the fire department. Structure fires, 2, 5 false alarms, 4 accidents, 3 EMS lift assist, 16 first responder calls, 1 possible natural gas leak, 1 controlled burn, 4 weekly truck inspections, 6 hours of state training, 5 special details, tested uninspected 3,850 foot of fire hose, foot is a foot if there's nothing on there, okay, a fire hose to MFPA standards, received a grant to purchase a new thermal imaging camera. How much was that, Harry?
They allow us $3,250.
Okay,
So we'll have to, I'm looking now to see what we can get them for that amount.
okay, sounds good. Had a state fire commission audit on our training records and no issues were found. So what else you have to add to that, Harry?
Other than our truck, we, I was to be in Millersville, Georgia, Friday, May 30th, to do a final inspection on it. Hopefully we can have it here Monday. Another thing is, I sent some pictures to Nina, and I seen a couple of issues that I really didn't like. Couple things that, one of them was on contract, that it's not on the truck, and the graphics are not the way that we wanted them. But like I was talking to Rita a while ago, she suggested we go ahead and go to Millersville and look at it Friday, and, let them make the corrections, and then send pictures of what they got corrected on it, so. We just have to see, they'll call me in the morning to let me know exactly what you're gonna do. So as far as that, if they can get it lined out between now and next Monday, we'll have it delivered here then. But if not, it's still maybe a couple more weeks down the road.
So you're thinking it could possibly be delivered next Monday?
It could possibly,
Okay.
depending on, if they're gonna redo the graphics, it's gonna be the main thing.
Okay.
But with them being fresh, they should come out pretty
Oh, yeah.
easy.
Good blow dryer should take those off.
Yeah. You'll text us pictures now, you can, right? You'll text us pictures now, you can, right? Yeah. I gotta figure that out.
A tutorial.
Y'all have any questions for Harry? We're excited, we wanna have the program where you back the new fire truck into the bay. We've not done that in, what is it, 42 years, Harry?
32, we,
32. Okay, and you didn't have the ceremony then, okay, so we want as many of us trying to gather up the fire department and have a ceremony of backing that in, and, that's a big
hopefully
deal.
whenever we get it, we'll start taking the hose off of the old truck and loading the hose, and it'll take a week probably to get the hose on it and get all the equipment mounted on it, so
Okay.
I hope to have it in service very quick.
Okay. And then the city of Wingo reached out to you and their truck has went down, or is on the verge of going down. So they asked Carrie about buying our old truck, and after discussing it with Rob, we can sell agency to agency without having to bid it.
Okay.
So if I'm understanding correctly, $20,000 is what we have sold this truck to for the city of Wingo. So, they will just write a check and send it, and it'll go back into our general
Yeah,
fund.
that's good. They're one of their main trucks, won't, pass the postal test. So it is complete.
So, Rob is saying we need a resolution for that to be able to.
Right.
Okay. So
We already did.
We've already done that?
Well, we already did the one that said we would sell it, but we specified gov deals.
Okay. But we're gonna do something different.
Yeah.
So we need to do the.
Okay.
They in a big hurry with it.
No fire truck, we need
You can just change the date, just now know the resolution. Yeah,
There you
we-
go. Can we have a motion?
yeah, I'll second.
For the date when you're going to, it's not effective immediately, we still need to fire truck, I assume.
When are you gonna try to get it to Wingo? You gonna keep it in service?
Yeah, we'll keep it in service until we get,
That's what I
here it is, right here, it's right here.
He's our translator.
We'll keep it until we get,
Okay.
until that was in service.
Okay.
Yeah, cause it just, I mean, it was still, if we had to have it, when it goes down, it would still work.
Yeah, I'd love to keep it, but we just don't have the rain.
We really don't, that's gonna be the bad thing about it is, when we back them end to end, the two long trucks, we're only gonna have about this much room.
You're gonna have to suck in when you go
I can't
past
suck
there.
in that far, I'll have to go around. I'll have to go around.
All right, any other questions, guys?
I have an answer for Kevin. We were over there, actually, I met with the engineers on that sidewalk project.
Okay,
So we walked all around the loop.
that's what I wondered if it might have something to do with the sidewalks, and that's, okay,
I've been in communication
Yeah.
with them quite a bit the past couple of weeks.
okay.
Yeah, Chris has really been good to work with them. So we're gonna have to move some utilities for these sidewalks, that grant, the TAP grant that we got a couple of years
Yeah.
ago. Hoping to bid it out in the spring and get started on it, finish it by late summer. But, you're having to move a few gas lines, aren't you?
I don't know, we're still working.
Still work, so you hadn't decided which side of the road there on Pale that you're gonna, okay.
I don't think that's gonna affect us. I think the only place of contingency we have with them would be over on Commerce, McDonald.
Okay,
And so they're actually looking at maybe going to the other side.
okay.
So that's all between them and you guys, but I told them we do whatever we need to do, just let us know.
Okay, so we're gonna have to move some light poles and, several water meters. I think there's 17 water meters that we'll
Oh,
have to
wow.
put back behind the sidewalk. So, working on that throughout the winter, trying to get it moved, trying to do it ourselves so that we don't have to pay a crew to come in and do that. So, I just told them if they could do a few a month, then they'll be ready to go.
Did that one property sell, there was one resident that came in, I noticed it was listed, he did sell it.
Yeah.
I saw the sign was down and wondered, that was the only person that had an issue with,
We had to buy his easement.
we did, okay.
Yeah, we
Okay.
did buy his easement.
Okay.
It went from 15,000 to 1,500, so we got it for 1,500.
Okay,
And then there were 2 easements at CFSB, and they donated their easements to us, so we didn't have to buy those.
all right.
All righty, water plant, I'm doing October, but this is November, isn't it? I'm really behind. They changed out 25 5/8 inch radio read meters, and they changed out 223 2-inch radio read meters on top of running the water plant and all that.
I put 200.
So should that's a lot of meters.
23.
Okay, 23 guys. Okay, the maintenance department is 80 water or sewer locates, 3 water taps, 2 water main break repairs, 1 service line leak repair, 2 locations ran the sewer camera, fall cleanup, ditching, sweeper truck, finished curbing at Bent Creek, mowing, brush pickup, fixed yards from leak repairs. So they've been pretty steady as well. All right, if no questions, we'll move on to the first reading of exterior storage of vehicles.
And I had mailed everyone a copy of this. This was a wild proposal, so I still need a sponsor if you wanting to do it.
And if you don't wanna do it, you're not gonna hurt my feelings again, but this has been an ongoing issue since I've been, city attorney, and I think it was an ongoing issue.
I'll sponsor it if you need.
And it was a situation where, like, vehicles on the lot, most. Vehicles on the lot. We have 2 ordinances that primarily address this. One is a nuisance ordinance, and
what I had put together and proposed is that we kind of combine them into one. And, so when we are assigning that to individuals about, so this would be the first reading. I'm gonna go on and read it because it's not that long and it's the first reading and I don't think. Yeah.
I did, I deleted it.
So I'm gonna read it. It says, whereas the city of Benton desires to amend section 9203 nuisance exterior storage of non-operating vehicles prohibited in section 157.03 property maintenance code, exterior property areas of the Benton Code of Ordinances to clarify the prohibition of storing non-exempt vehicles on property located in the city of Benton. Be it ordained by the council of the city of Benton, Kentucky. Number 1, chapter 92 nuisances, section 9203 exterior storage of non-operating vehicles prohibited in the Benton Code of Ordinances is amended as follows. Section 92.03 exterior storage of non-exempt vehicles prohibited. No person in charge of or in control of premises, whether as owner, leasing, tenant, or occupant, or otherwise, shall allow any non-exempt vehicle to be placed on said premises in violation of section 157.03 exterior property areas, motor vehicles of the Benton Code of Ordinances. So I've referred everything over to that one ordinance. And then I have proposed to amend that ordinance to read chapter 157, property maintenance code, section 15703, exterior property areas, motor vehicles of the Benton Code of Ordinance. It's amended to read as follows. Section 15703, exterior property areas. Number H, motor vehicles. Motor vehicles shall read as follows. Except as provided in section 15703, subsection H2 of the Benton Code of Ordinances, no currently unregistered or unlicensed motor vehicle or motor vehicle owned for the intended purpose of resale shall be parked, kept, or stored on any lot located in the city limits of Benton, and no vehicle shall at any time be in a state of major disassembly, disrepair, or in the process of being stripped or dismantled. I threw in motor vehicle owned for the intended purposes of resale because in my mind, no currently unregistered or unlicensed motor vehicle is a little hard to police because I would have to look up every time there's a vehicle to see if it's licensed or, and I think if you have a car lot with, that might be a little easier for the intended purpose of resale. Now, these are the exceptions. Number 2, the following shall be exceptions to section 15703H1. A vehicle of any type is permitted to undergo major overhaul, including body work, provided that such work is performed inside a structure or similarly enclosed area designed and approved for such purposes. I didn't amend that. That's how we've had it for years. B, any vehicle in a state of good repair and fully operable may be kept in a structure designed for such vehicles. Vehicle storage, and that remains the same. That's like garages. You have a garage, you have vehicles in your garage. Now I've added C, an inoperative vehicle in the process of being repaired located on a residential lot, provided such vehicle does not remain on the residential lot in such condition in excess of 14 days. Now, we had 10 days that a vehicle like that could remain on the lot. I've changed that to 14 days, 2 weeks. And my thinking there is if you have a car and it has flat tires or changing out the motor or something like that, you can still have that car being worked on your lot. D, a registered or licensed vehicle in a state of good repair and fully operable may be kept on a residential lot provided the vehicle is owned by the owner, occupant, or guest of the residential lot. So if you have a house in the city of Benton and your guest is there or your kids are there, you can have as many cars. I don't have a limit on the cars as long as it's in good repair. You're renting an apartment in Benton. Your guest can have a car there, you can have a car there. So that's the exception to that ordinance. E, a vehicle on a non-residential lot and keeping and maintenance of such vehicle is necessary to the operation of such business enterprise, provided the business has a proper city business license and is otherwise lawfully operated under federal and state regulation. This exception does not apply to vehicles in a state of major disability, disrepair, or in the process of being stripped or dismantled. So if you have a car lot, or you have a auto mechanic business, and or you have your vehicles that you need for your business, you can have those on your business lot. And then F, this was in our nuisance ordinance, I just kept it. The vehicle in appropriate storage place or depository maintained on a lawful place and manner by the city or public agency or entity. I guess that would be like the city of Benton having their trucks and things that they need to operate their business or the city. 3, the remaining provisions of 92 and chapter 157 shall remain as currently enacted. 4, pursuant to KRS 83A 060 subsection 9, a summary of this ordinance may be published. The full text of the ordinance may be reviewed at Benton City Hall during regular office hours. Mayor, that will be the first reading of that ordinance. And did you, Kevin,
Yeah, I'll
response to
sponsor
the
it.
order?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And then
What kind of
Question.
comments do you have, questions?
I'm questioning the 14 days.
Okay.
Because I had a car towed in, that had to have work on, I had to have a transmission for it. I didn't want to buy a new one, they looked for one, it took 3 weeks to find a transmission and then have to have it put in. I know that's a rare exception.
You did that at your house?
It was at a car lot. I had it hauled to a car lot to be
Okay.
worked on.
Okay.
And they trying to find me the part, and it sat there for 3 weeks before they could even work on it.
I think what he was saying, like, we had some incidences throughout the city
Right.
where they would tear vehicles apart and just leave them sit.
Right, I understand that
And
fully.
we got all kinds of
Yeah.
complaints, so
I
what
w-
are y'all gonna do about that? And I think the
And
car lot would be different.
I think, yeah, I'm just bringing up the point that
Okay.
I had personally with
Okay.
it. And they was trying to find a transmission, I just
Right.
didn't want to buy a new one.
Right, yeah.
the 14 days was only for residential lots.
Okay, all right, well, it's not a commercial
We didn't
one.
say anything about commercial. That's
Fine, that's fine.
That's just if you have a house,
Fine.
car with the engine out for over 2 weeks.
Thank you.
So,
We, believe it or not, we get a lot of complaints about vehicles sitting around with flat tires and no license plates and, more than you would ever think.
yeah. So in North Benton, I'm thinking of one lot, and it is a shop, but there are
We're
some
on
of those
it,
cars I don't think have moved in 3 years.
we're on it, yep.
So this would pertain to that property, even though it's commercial property?
That's
It-
been
It
Yeah.
would, yes.
sitting in the same spot and maybe not correctly licensed. Yeah.
I know you probably know what I'm talking
I
about.
do.
but It's, yeah, it's an eyesore, it really is.
It's really hard to have an ordinance that I can grasp every situation that
Sure.
might come down the
Sure.
pipe.
Right.
And I could make exceptions unless otherwise, we could put like the one ordinance on the sewer ordinance, where I could put an exception there that if they come to the city council, unless otherwise approved by city council or otherwise approved by our code enforcement officer, you could give our code enforcement officers some leeway
Yeah.
to.
Probably do that.
And you don't,
You never know what you're gonna find.
you don't wanna hurt a business.
No.
We work so hard to promote our businesses and try
Right.
to help them, and you don't wanna hurt them, but sometimes you're put in a situation where you have to take steps to correct it.
Yeah.
And
I think that relationship has to go both ways.
it
Can't be
does,
taken
it
advantage of
does,
either, so.
yes, it does.
Yeah.
Anything else, guys, on this?
And I don't think it's a major change that would require another first reading, but can I add an exception with the code enforcement officer unless
Sure.
otherwise approved?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll add that for the second reading.
All right. We'll move on to mayor, council, or, we need the minutes approved from October the 20th.
Motion.
Okay, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. Mayor, council items, Kevin, do you have anything?
You know, do you have any luck in looking into, leaf back, unit and like, you know, setting up some routes?
We did look into it. The, the system, I think, was 225,000.
Hmm.
Um, my preference, I would rather get on the list and try to rent it for 2 months every year
Yeah,
and then set up a route and do it. They did not have enough trucks to rent this year. So I think we're gonna have to continue on the path we're on unless you all wanna vote to spend 225,000 for a truck.
I did not love, like, it was cool and everything.
Yeah.
But I sent you videos whenever I went
Blowing
to
out the
look.
back.
There was so much stuff blown up the back.
Yeah.
So like, it was getting all over people's cars.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, there's another thing that
Yeah.
someone's gonna be upset
They
about
would
that
be.
too, you know? Now, so, and like, I don't know, like, that's a big expense to only needed a couple months out of the year.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking, you
And
know?
and it would be nice to at least do it one year. Get out there, because, you know, like your elderly people who cannot, you know, get up, they're still gonna have to hire somebody to come out there and get it to the ditch.
Exactly.
You know, like there's still gonna have to be somebody doing that part,
Yes.
so I think it's a lot of money for a couple months, and we don't know like who will actually use the service.
Yeah.
I think if we
the
could have a
service
trial
needs to
run
know.
maybe next fall
Mhm.
and kind of see like, okay, well, there was a lot of interest. It would be good for us to invest into our own.
Right,
Then yes. But I don't think that we should spend it right now.
okay.
could we put our name in early to
I
rent
think he
one next?
already has.
Okay.
I think he's already put us on the list for next year
And
to
I
try it out.
agree with,
See.
with Sylvia, that,
Yeah.
you know, do a test run maybe next fall and see how it goes.
Absolutely.
I mean, you were there that day. What did you think about it?
I did not like it.
Okay.
I got big problems with it. Even if you have your leaves 5 foot from the road, if they're not there every day, if you're not in the ditch, they're gonna blow all the way back, all over your neighbor and everywhere else.
And that the arm that like extended down for some of like the deeper culverts, it's not gonna be able to get in there
It wouldn't
anyway.
reach over 4 or 5 foot.
It won't go, like he said, it was already extended as far as it could go. There was
Okay.
no other extension because Jason asked that question. I think it was Jason who asked that question.
Yes.
There was no other extension for it. So anything that's like in a deep culvert, we're not getting those out anyway without getting them moved up. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? So that
Yes.
it doesn't help that kind of stuff.
Okay,
Yeah. So people with like big, deeper ditches, it's not gonna help in that particular.
okay.
Yeah. I'm okay with doing a travel run though. Like
Okay.
if we wanted to rent one next year and kind of see how that went, I'm okay with it. No, everybody else might think differently.
Much rather go that route than approve burning. Feel pretty strongly on that, you know, allowing to burn. That's just,
No.
yeah, I think that's a bad one.
What is your answer to that, Kevin?
My answer-
Allowed to burn, what's your answer to it?
Well,
What is your answer to older people that cannot afford to get
Well-
it raked up and pay for it in bags?
Sylvia kind of hit on this, you know, if, you know, if it's an older couple and they're burning the leaves, they still have to rake them all up out of the whole yard and get them to a central place to burn.
Not
And,
necessarily, they can rake them up in a pile and burn.
well, I'm saying, but they're still gonna have to rake them.
Yes,
They're gonna have to
somebody
be,
is, or blow
yeah,
them, or get a mower and mulch them.
yeah. It's, you know,
I mean,
it's,
I understand fully the not
Yeah,
burning.
it's
I
like,
just don't know the answer for the older people.
same as, you know, limbs in the yard after, you know, after storms and everything. For the older people, my parents are there. And,
Yes.
you know, we either get over there or they ride out around in their golf cart and do it some around their yard. And when they can't, we're over there doing it for them. And it's, I'm not saying it's not a challenge, but I don't think burning is the answer. And it's, you know, that's my opinion. But I have a situation where it, you know, when we have one person right outside the city limits just west of me that burns them, it's a rough night or two for us because it drifts right to our house, and he's outside the city limits, he can do it. But it does have quite an adverse effect with anybody with breathing problems, lung issues, or whatnot. So
I
can't
can
say that I
tell
know
you-
the
I can tell you what I told the mayor, I've never been allergic to anything. And 3 days later, I had to go to the doctor because I was allergic, I had allergies.
no.
He come in my office with red eyes and he said, well, I just told you 3 days ago, I've never had an allergy.
They're not fun.
They're not fun. They're not. The hard part about burning is even though your windows are closed, it still comes into
It
your house.
still gets
'Cause
in.
At
to
least
you.
the smell
Yeah,
comes into your house.
yep.
But I'm gonna leave it up to you all. You can change the ordinance to where they can burn leaves, or you can leave it like it is.
Like it is fine. I think they're doing a good job.
Okay. So, Steve, we need your guys, when you see anybody burning, to please stop and tell them we have an ordinance against burning leaves. All right. Anything else, Kevin?
No, that was all I had, thanks.
Sylvia?
So First Responders Park, I got that email with the updated, everything, and the bricks. I wanted to ask, I saw that Lee Block and Brick was where you guys got, some
That's where
numbers
I
from.
look, but I wanna check with Eric.
Eric, Creative
Yes,
Masonry,
yeah.
okay,
I haven't
all right.
gotten him called yet, but.
Okay, all right, I just wanted to make sure that we, cause he's in the city,
Right.
and he may not,
I'd much
but I
rather
think he
use him
does.
if he has
Yeah.
access.
yeah, I think he
So-
does, do all that too, like what they do, so anyway, but that was, I just wanted to make comment, I had saw where Jessica had said that too, and
Yes.
so, and she said I couldn't remember the name, it's Creative Masonry,
Yes.
so, anyway.
Well, I've got his cell, so I'll just text him and ask him if he has access to that and if it's a comparable price per brick
Okay.
to be able to do it.
And then this, I know it's like November, so, but I wanted to know where we left off on splash pad. What was the last thing we talked about? I want to kind of keep that in the, especially while you're still here with us. I want to see if we can get any steps of moving forward with that process.
Come January, I'm gonna work real hard on that.
Okay.
I'll kind of put it on the back burner, and I actually met with our engineer today. And we met on running a water line out to Slaughter Road to have fire access and that kind of thing. And, the water line on, Commerce Street for the new, apartment development that's coming in. We discussed that some. But, he had sent me an updated, it was a couple of 100,000 less, but then I've been going through all of that and marking off because they still had a whole lot
A
of
lot of
features
features, yeah.
that we don't have to have right up front.
Right.
That would take a lot of price off of that.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I've been doing that, and then I told him, come January, I want to sit down with him and really, and you all are welcome, we can have a workshop or whatever, and just really look that over. Because I would love to get a splash pad.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and I'd like to work on some sponsors for it and see if we can get some of the community to help with the sponsorship of it. Anything else, Sylvia?
Nope, that's everything for me.
Okay. Beth, you have anything? Rob, you have anything? Guy?
I want to give a special thanks to the fire department and the police department for collecting all the goods for the needy.
They've done well.
They've done a fabulous job, and it is really needed. And I want to give them a special thanks. And I would like to ask you if you had a chance to look at the Y out there where the complaint
did.
was about the tree.
I did.
If anything can be done.
So when you come on that side road, on the right side of that house, it sits right there in the center of Simsonia Road and, what is that, Ash that runs on down. If you look to your left where that house is,
Yeah.
it's almost totally
You
blocked.
cannot see a car coming.
No, but it's not on the right of way. So we're gonna have to send him a letter through code enforcement
Right.
to cut that tree.
Yeah,
And it's
it
a
is
small tree,
yeah, it's a
but there's
danger.
a lot of brush.
Yeah,
Is that the house in the little triangle?
Uh-huh.
yes.
Well, and it's as much the brush going up right beside the
Exactly.
house.
Exactly,
It-
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
It's not so much in the ditch, it's right behind the house,
Yeah.
and then there's a fence.
I thought that's where you were talking about. And
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I drive that route, that's all right to Walmart.
You have to
It's
get
dangerous.
almost in the Oak Level Road
Yeah,
to be able
see.
to see.
you
Yeah.
do.
So, I'm gonna get William to,
Yeah.
write him a letter and let him know that needs to be cleaned up. And if he doesn't, we'll go in and do it, cause it is a safety issue.
That's all I have.
Okay. We'll do it. Anything else, guy? Okay, Butch? Okay. So I met with, Ross from Benton Electric today, and Leslie, and, we talked about the street lighting. And I think there are, if my mind's working right, 762 streetlights in the city limits. And that doesn't include the, security lights in people's yards.
Right.
So they can go in and put in the new light heads, the wiring, do some different engineering, get rid of poles that don't need to be there. There's too many lights in certain places and not enough lights in other places. We would rework all of those. The total cost is going to be around 450,000, much less than I expected, to be honest with you. I think the train people were $1 million or a little bit better, if I'm remembering right. My thinking is, we have the money to do it. And we might hit the gas department up to sharing that cost with us. And Chris is smiling, so I think he's good. And you all would just need to amend the budget for us to be able to do that. So we can, if you're agreeable and it's something that you want to do, it's going to save us about $60,000 per year in electrical costs because of the kilowatts that'll be used. So, in just a few years, you're going to pay that cost off. My biggest concern is there's a 10-year warranty on these light heads, and they're all gonna go out at the same time. You know that, or pretty darn close. So the next mayor that comes in is going to have to start putting back a fund to, so you can put a certain amount in every year and be prepared in the next 10 years to start replacing light heads again. And Ross said, they went down considerably throughout the years. When they first started LED, they were outrageous. And he thinks they'll continue to go down. So even when you do go to replace them, and then they will also take care of any issues that we have and maintain them just like we've always done. So the amount, 60,000 a year.
I mean, I like that option. That is quite a bit cheaper, and I think I think it's something that's needed. It's for the appearance of the city, for safety, and if we can do it in-house, I like that route.
Yeah, to me, it's pretty silly of us when we have the funds to do it, to borrow funds to do it and pay interest.
We're coming up on budget time,
Yeah.
so we can just go ahead and plan it, put it in next year's budget.
Well, we'll have to do it before next year. He wants to have the entire project done in 6 months.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we talked about it today. I said, do you want us to write you a check up front? Or do you want to just send us an invoice each time? So they're thinking like when they buy the wire, they'll invoice us. When they buy the light head,
Okay.
they may buy 100 at a time.
No, the sooner
And
the
they'll
better.
invoice it, so.
I'm good with that.
Uh,
We've got the money to do
yeah.
it. It's a genuine need. I'm all for it.
The safety aspect of it to me, because it's so much brighter and it gives you so much more light.
I like the idea that we'll be the ones, just like,
I do too.
instead of coming to the outside.
Yeah.
Right.
And the only reason we even considered an outside source is when I first talked to them, they felt like they didn't have the manpower to do it.
Right.
So they've reevaluated, and I would much, much rather go with Benton Electric than anybody.
Absolutely.
So what y'all think? Do we want to move
Favor.
forward?
Move forward.
Move forward, yeah.
I'll make the motion to move forward.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, do we need a resolution or anything like that? Yet?
We'll need I'll get with Chris and Tracy, and because we'll probably need to amend budgets. But they'll have to have a first and second reading.
Move some money around.
Yes, to move money, so we'll have that ready for next meeting.
Or
Okay.
Do
Okay.
you want to have a special call meeting and then so we can?
Which I don't think it'll matter. I mean, within 2 months, they're not gonna want 450,000 in 2
No,
months,
no,
so
no.
we'll be
Okay.
fine.
So
Yeah.
we're,
Yeah, I think we're fine. Yeah.
Bring up the meetings tomorrow.
Yeah, just that you all voted to go forward with it, and I'll let Ross know as well. And, that, just anytime they want to get started, they can get started.
All right.
I was very pleased. I was pleased with the price as well. I mean, I know it sounds like a lot, but compared to what the other price was,
Different.
it's not terrible at all.
Let's look at what you're saving.
I know. Yeah, 60,000 a year is a lot of money. Sure is. So, and, you know, before they all burn out, you will have earned your money back and start all over again, but. All right, guys, if you don't have anything else, we're gonna go, I need a motion to go into executive session per KRS 61.810(1)(z), discussion of proposed or pending litigation against or on behalf of the public agency.
Second.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Right. Thank you all. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Exactly, or should know exactly, relative, politics, what its quality is.